Hey everybody, and welcome back to iRacing and the Formula Vee series. We are here in week 9 of 12, and we are back at the Tsukuba circuit in Japan, but this time we're running the longer version of the circuit, the 2K version, and once again, this race is dedicated to my good friend Diesel Sims, who sadly passed away about 2 weeks ago, and I have to say, we're going to continue this for the rest of the season. Now, we're starting last, and the person who's supposed to be starting in 11th place is actually starting from the pits. So we're kind of starting last place on the grid, but really once we get past the pits, we're going to be in 11th place. And right now I'm just trying to get my wheels straight. When I spawned in here, the wheels were turned slightly to the right, and I just want to get the wheels mostly straight for the dead start here. And really we're just waiting. We've got 2 minutes to grid up, and since our 11th place person is starting from the grid, or starting from the pits, we're gonna have to wait a full 2 minutes before we can get started. Now I have to say, we're gonna have a lot of action in the first lap, and we're gonna be probably a little hard to keep up with all of the narration as to what on earth is going on, but luckily we did manage to get through the first lap. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have a race titled Mid-Pack Battle. So let's kind of get ready for the start of the race. So what I like to do with my starting procedures here is I try to throttle up to about 7,000 RPM. And then when we get red lights, I put my hand on the shifter, green lights, drop it into first, and off we go. So I'm running through the gears here, not quite at full speed, because I want to kind of be careful through the first few turns. And thankfully we've got some action already going on. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what exactly happened there. So we can see the car 7, he kind of probably comes through a little bit too hot. He's on the brakes in the turn. Thankfully everybody can get around, and he somehow waits for traffic to get around before kind of spinning back around. But our action is definitely not done. You can see what happens here. Car right in front of us, it's right up on the back end of the green car. Gets his front wheels up, loses a lot of momentum. We got to evade, get out of the way. Then we have third place driver spins out. So let's take a look and see what happened. I think he just came into the hairpin a little bit too hot on full tires. But again, you see he's sitting and waiting. Gets off the track, waits for everybody to clear, and then comes around. And remember our buddy that was up on the green car's tires? Well, here he is again. This time he gives us a 4X. Doesn't really hit us, but it's pretty much like neck code. He gets a little bit too close to us. Remember, iRacing is all online. So another spin. So see what basically happens on this one. Comes a little hot again. We thankfully get around him, but then he just shoots across the track right in front of that car. Thankfully everyone clears. But I was a little risky going out wide because I was worried he would roll back into me. Good thing we managed to clear him. And wow, that was a very busy first lap, and we settled into 5th place after starting 12th, and we are partway through the second lap. So at this point, I'm really just breathing deep, thinking, oh my gosh, that was a lot of action, and I'm really glad that that we've managed to avoid everything so far. This is a late afternoon race. The sun is in our eyes, going for the last big turn. That's only going to get more and more prevalent as the race goes on. Now the car that is directly behind me, he is the guy that was 11th place and started from the pits. So that's where that particular car came from. Third place car that spun out earlier on the first lap, he is also behind us. We'll see him once again. So at this point I'm thinking I just need to run my race, kind of paying attention to the guy right behind me in my mirrors, just hoping he doesn't come up on me. Clearly I feel he's maybe a little bit faster than I am. And we just let him by at this point. We just slide on in. So basically, we're conceding the position. Learn to live another day. But we managed to get it back here because he runs wide through turn 1. I remember coming to this track probably week 3, and we were on the short circuit, which has us turning right here and then doubling back onto the back straight. And man, that was a spin nightmare. But it seems everyone has maybe finally fully gotten a grasp of this car, even though we are actually in the top split. And I was a little surprised at all that action in the first lap. But it seems like at least up here in the top split, second from the top split, is where I've been racing probably for about the last 2 weeks now. Racing overall seems to be a lot cleaner than it was earlier on in the season. Of course, earlier on in the season I was a bit further down in the splits, which also means we're probably further down with more rookie drivers and more D-class drivers than we are up here in the upper splits, where we mostly are running with B, C, and some A-class drivers. If we look down in our lower right, you can see that we've got a little bit of a gap between us, the car behind us, and then the other 2 cars behind him. So, feeling pretty good here, lap 5. This ends up being an 11-lap race. So the Formula Vee series is a timed race, 12-minute laps, or 12-minute races, and it's basically however many laps you can get in those 12 minutes. We're running around about the high 1 minute 5 seconds, low 1 minute 6 second laps. So we basically get about 11 laps in that 12-minute race. First and second, they have really checked out at this point. We're somewhat keeping remote contact with third and fourth, which are the cars directly in front of me. But again, we've got a battle coming with 6th, 7th, and 8th right behind us. So we really need to be paying more attention to running a good line, not being a little bit too erratic. And these guys, third and fourth, just spin out. They hit each other. So let's go ahead and see what happened there. I think what happened is 4th place maybe got into 3rd place a little hot into the corner and nudged him, and basically make it turn around and tied up into each other. We kind of falter a little bit through that corner, kind of paying attention to what they're doing. As a result, we lose 3rd place to basically car 1, and that is the car that spun out on the second hairpin on lap 1. We'll fall back to 5th place because we got it started in the pits here. He's managed to slip through us on that first turn. But again, it was clear that he was somewhat faster than I was, so I really wasn't intending it too terribly much. Now really what I want to do is just not lose another position to the red car that's directly behind me. We actually passed him for position on the first lap on the first hairpin. I have to say that was a near perfect final corner. You really want to try to keep your momentum up. You don't want to get too far from the inside curve there, but you want to also keep that speed up. I think we were about 81 miles per hour through that corner. You do lose a position in the braking zone of turn 1. Trying to stay off that guy. Yeah, this race, really, all the action here in the middle of the race with basically these 4 cars, I had completely at this point forgotten all about the action that was in the first lap and the first turn of the second lap at this point. I am 100% focused on what on earth is going on in front of me. These guys are racing for position, trying to get a good draft off this back straight to hopefully keep some momentum up through the first last turn here onto the front straight. I'm trying to keep on hitting my braking points, not to come in too hot into these guys in front of me, also not to get on the brakes too much and spin out. At this point, the way the guys directly in front of me are running, I'm really hesitant to push it hard and get right up on them. I remember the guy that hit us and careened off to the left. Well, there he was. He's back once again, spinning out. But like I said, I'm really hesitant to get too close to these guys because I'm really worried they're going to take each other out. Which for me would be a plus because we'd be back in 3rd place, but also worried they would take each other out and me because I wouldn't be able to evade through a corner. This car is not very friendly with respect to trying to change your lanes, change your line through a corner once you've already committed. Once again, we have a really good turn through here. We hit the curb a little bit. Don't lose too much speed. Last lap. White flag. I'm looking, how far am I in front of the guy behind me? How much do I need to push to hopefully not lose position to him? And at the same time, I don't want to be too close to these guys, but I do want to be close enough to take advantage of an opportunity should it show itself. Once again, they're over there on the right side of the track. Guy in 3rd place is over there trying to keep the draft away. Guy in 4th is obviously trying to get the draft to get a little bit of a tow. Hopefully be able to catch him on the final corner or have enough momentum drafting through the final corner to duck out and grab the position. But no, it is not his today. We finished the race in 5th place. Started 12th. And we were car number 9, so we were only expected to finish in about the 9th position anyway. So pretty good result for us, pretty good result for the race, and yeah, other than all of that crazy mayhem happening through the first lap, overall it was a fairly clean race for pretty much most people. So guys, I hope you once again enjoyed this week's iRacing Formula V race. We've got 3 more races left because we're in week 9 of 12. So next week we're going to be at Lime Rock Park running the chicane configuration. Not my most favorite configuration, I'll tell you that much. But hopefully we'll do fairly well there also. Until next time, happy racing.